Hey Team EQRRC, this is Coach Wes, and we're here and it's race week. And a lot of the questions always center around, well, what to eat? How do you get your body properly fueled going into the race? And that's what we want to spend a couple minutes talking about. To this email I attached a link to an article, and I think it's a great article. It goes through a number of different points. I think the science is pretty exact and pretty spot on with what we need to be doing with our food intake as we approach the race this coming Sunday. So most people's thought is usually, okay, time for carbs. Let's load up, let's add a bunch of carbs on and get myself to the start line completely carb loaded. And in some respects that's definitely the case. When you look at how the body breaks down food, it's either as a fat, protein, or a carbohydrate. And obviously running for 2 hours, 3 hours if you're doing a marathon, 4 hours, whatever it might take, you're going to want some extra carbs in your body because that carbohydrate, which is stored as glycogen, is basically your body's easiest fuel source. So one thing I want to make sure we are abundantly clear on is that yes, we do need to take in more carbohydrate, but no, we do not need to take in more calories. We're on a period of taper right now, and it's pretty much lasted at least a week to this point and another 4 or 5 days. And that period of taper means that we are decreasing the amount that we are exercising and running. So in some respects, we actually don't need as many calories right now. So if we go on continuing to eat the same number of calories we are, and then we add a bunch of carbohydrate on top, you're actually going to get to race day feeling a little too heavy. And that's not really what we want. So one thing that I would do if I were you is track your weight throughout this week. And leading up till about Friday and Saturday, your weight should be pretty darn steady. So what that means with our carbohydrate intake is that it's just supplanting or replacing some of the fuel or some of the calories that you would be normally eating. Now, when it comes time for the race, we know that we're going to break down some of our muscle, so we really don't want to decrease the amount of protein we're taking in. Therefore, the only macronutrient to really decrease and replace with a little bit more carb intake is that of fats. And you really want to be looking to get as much of the bad fat, the sweets, the sugars, the saturated fats out of your diet as you can this week, and just replacing them with good carbohydrates. Now, with it only being Wednesday, I would still stick personally with a little bit of the complex carbs, the fibrous carbs, whether it's vegetables or whole grains, whole wheats, quinoa, anything like that. But then as the week goes on and we get to about Friday, I would personally start cutting out all of those fibrous carbohydrates. I would be going for processed things, white rices, white breads, things of that nature. The reason for this is that fiber can end up tying up your GI tract and can keep you feeling like you have to go to the bathroom come race day on Sunday. We've got about 3 days worth of fiber in our gastrointestinal tract as is, so even if we start cutting up our fiber on Thursday or Friday, it's not going to be any problem going into the race on Sunday. So again, what I'm looking for you to do is increase your carbohydrate intake in the place of some of the fats that you'd normally have in your diet. Keep your calorie intake pretty consistent. What that means as far as the number of carbs is really related to your body weight, and you see that defined in the article. They label 3 to 5 grams of carbohydrate per pound of body weight, and I usually aim for somewhere right in the middle at 4 grams. That means a 150-pound person needs to be taking in upwards of 200 grams of carbohydrates per day. It's a lot of carbs, for sure. And if you want to know how many you're taking, just use a simple online or web-based or even mobile app-based type of food tracker, whether it's Lose It or Fit Day. Any of those would really help you out. So that should hopefully give you an idea of what to do with carbohydrate intake. What that will lead to, however, if once we start increasing our carbohydrate intake starting today, and especially going throughout and really loading up on Friday and Saturday, what that should lead to is a little bit of increased fluid retention. And as you're really starting to superhydrate on Friday and Saturday, like we'll talk about in emails later this week, by Saturday you should see your weight up just a little bit. So while I mentioned earlier that if you're tracking your weight throughout the week, it should remain pretty steady. By Saturday, I wouldn't be surprised if you go into the race maybe 2 pounds, maybe even 3 pounds heavier, because those carbohydrates will attract extra water into the cells and keep you super hydrated. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what to do during the course of the week. Subsequent emails later this week will talk about what to do the day before, the morning of, and then also what to do throughout the race itself. I'm really looking forward to Sunday. I think it's going to be a great day. I know you guys aren't doing much right now and you probably feel a little nervous that you're not running too much, but that's the whole point. So we want you to keep tapering and just start to replace some of those fats with carbs. That's the goal of this week. If you have any questions, as always, just reach out to me, let me know, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys later on tonight.